Hey, wait, hold up. Hang on. Somebody hit the siren over there. Alright. Listen, we have a big development in the Commander realm here. We've got some cards that got unbanned. It's truly a red letter day. And old Nicky G is here to tell you all about it. But first, you gotta subscribe to the channel, brother. You're gonna get all the latest news 2 or 3 days after it happens because I'm a busy dude. Listen, you tune into this channel to hear all the pontification, man. We don't need it right off the presses, you know? Let's digest it a little bit, give our honest thoughts. I pontificate, I ruminate. I'm in my ivory tower with my plate piled high with meatballs. That's brain food, brother. Now listen, there's this assumption that some idiot with a computer and a smooth voice and a microphone like me has more expertise than your standard Commander player. And that just ain't true, man. Your opinions are just as valid as my opinions. I know about as much as anybody else, you know. Honestly, I have managed to stay focused on this game for about 10,000 hours and 25 plus years. So I have some level of expertise, but really, it's the pontification everybody is here for. So let's take a look at these unbannings. I do have 2 copies of Gifts Ungiven. I got that in a Modern Players collection that I bought. Fantastic card. I was like, oh snap, I can't wait to use it. It's banned. Forget it. So I just stuck it in a binder somewhere, but I managed to find 2 of the copies. Gifts Ungiven is 3 and a blue for an instant. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names, reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards, put the chosen cards into your graveyard, the rest into your hand, then shuffle. Now, of course, I always prefer the lady lying down art. That's always going to be my favorite. I'm not a big fan of Jace doing some kind of shenanigans out there. The way this works, you can fail to find. Just find 2 cards. An opponent has to put those 2 cards into your graveyard. It's tricky to force people to give you what you want. If you have some redundant effects in your deck that you need, say you need a aristocrat, you know, a Zulaport Cutthroat type effect, go find 4 of them. They have to give you 2. The other 2 go in your graveyard. That's the way it works. Or you can get some reanimator targets, or you get a couple cards with flashback and put them into the graveyard. Just do whatever the heck you want. I don't really care, man. It's tricky. You know, there are reanimator implications. I mean, this is a fantastic card. I'm very glad it's unbanned. It's going directly into 2 of my decks. It's very powerful, but no more egregious than lots of other stuff in this broken format, so I agree with this unban. Let's take a minute to enjoy this giant piece of crap, Sway of the Stars. So this is 8 blue sorcery. Each player shuffles their hand, graveyard, and all permanents they own into their library, then draws 7 cards. Each player's life total becomes 7. This card sucks, man. Somebody's going to cast this, they're going to get all cheeky, they're going to smile. Ooh, I'm a fierce little imp over here. You know, I'm a hot little twink over in my little tutu over here. Whoa, wait a second. I got a little weird there, brother. And then the last 90 minutes of this game is reduced to a bad dream. All you've done, all you've built is reduced to ashes in your mouth. I don't like this card. I think it's an abomination. But yeah, you know, unban it. I don't really care. Really, while we're on the subject here of blue cards you should unban, I think they should unban Tolarian Academy. You know, it's not because I have 2 of them and I want to stick it in my artifact deck. No. I just think you should unban it. You know, it's a singleton format. Who cares, dude? Come on, with all the broken crap you have going on in this game, I can't have Tolarian Academy. Anyways, let's get back to the unbans here with Braids, the Cabal minion. 2 black, legendary creature, human minion, it's 2/2. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, so this is symmetrical, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or land of their choice. I'm kind of ambivalent towards this. If you get this out super early, everybody's going to have a really bad time, and I don't care. Looks like Margot Robbie with a bad makeup job. We all know how I love the crazy eyes, brother. This is a good card. You can easily remove it. Just hit it with the Swords to Plowshares. You slap it in decks where you're trying to pay off sacrificing creatures. I think it's fine. I don't know what they were smoking when they banned it, to be honest. You gotta pack removal, people. You know, there might be a Braids out there. Yeah, Coalition Victory. This looks like the dudes out at the Minecraft movie, all these little tweeners out there. Coalition Victory, I'm about to celebrate one right now, is 3 and Wooburg, 8 mana sorcery. You win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each color. I also own one of these from the invasion box I opened in the year 2000 or 2001. You got the Weatherlight crew out here. They're doing a gender reveal, you know, or perhaps a gender conceal party for Tongarth. I think this card is fine. You can do it with a total of 3 cards, but then it's 8 mana, 4 card combo. Who cares, dude? That's not bad. This is no worse than Demonic Consultation and Thassa's Oracle and all the other rampant crap running around in this format. It's like the most innocuous thing in the world. If you get this to go off, I'll buy you a lemon meringue pie myself. If you win with Coalition Victory, I'll buy you a pie, dude. It'll be pie for everyone, man. Everybody's getting cream pied, all right? Panoptic Mirror is 5 generic mana artifact, has imprint for X and tap. You may exile an instant or sorcery card with mana value X from your hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may copy a card exiled with this artifact. If you do, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So really, this goes infinite with an extra turn spell as long as it stays out there. But it's got to make it around the table. That's a minimum of 10 mana. Barring that, it can be used as a value engine for another spell, say like a little Fact or Fiction or something. It's kind of innocuous, and that is certainly pretty powerful. But again, not as ballistic as any of the other things you can do in this format. People just have to realize if you put a Panoptic Mirror out there and it sits for a turn cycle, everybody's dead. Now, as far as the game changers go, I agree with all of them. It's fine. I don't care, man. The bracket system with the game changers list is a decent way for people to evaluate their decks. I put out a video a while ago where I kind of bashed it. But you know what, man? It takes a big man to say that they changed their mind, and I'm like 300 pounds, dude. The bracket system with the game changers list is a decent way for people to evaluate their decks against one another. And the current and future game changers don't really affect me. I'm going to build what I build, and I'm going to let Moxfield tell me what bracket it is. And if I disagree, I'm going to upshift it a bracket. If it says it's bracket 3, I might upshift it if I say, well, I have some combos in there maybe it didn't recognize. I'm never going to downshift it. I'm never going to lie about what's in there. Just build what's fun for you and find people willing to tolerate you for a game or two. That's the goal. Now, the new game changers are Teferi's Protection, Humility, Narset Parter Veils, Intuition, Consecrated Sphinx, Necropotence, or Necropotence, or however you want to say it, or Necropotencies, Orcish Bowmasters, those little guys out there with their little bows. You got Notion Thief, Deflecting Swat, Gamble, Worldly Tutor, Crop Rotation, that's a good one, Seedborn Muse, Natural Order, Food Chain, bunch of green cards there, Aura Shards, Field of the Dead, and Mishra's Workshop. Mishra's Workshop I had to look up, and that card is $3,000. I don't have an issue with any of these. It's mostly tutors, very powerful cards, some draw punish effects. Narset, Notion Thief, Orcish Bowmasters, Consecrated Sphinx. Not only are these draw punish, but they're big swings, man. Consecrated Sphinx not so much, but every time they draw a card, you draw 2 cards. It's pretty powerful. I kind of like the bracket game changer system, to be honest. It's like a soft ban list. Yes, you can play these cards, they're great in the format, but there's a very clear power level indicator based on how many you're playing. Now, Humility is an interesting one. It's an old card on the reserve list, very goofy art on there. I really dig this card. There are a bunch of effects like this, but I can see why this is a game changer. Food Chain, Necropotence, they're certainly game changers. Food Chain is just a combo machine. I have it in one of my decks, and this deserves to be on that list. Aura Shards, man, if you're not familiar with Aura Shards, it is a back-breaking enchantment. This one got a list printing and was a couple bucks, so you know what I did, dude? I went and bought 3 copies. Nikki G, the Hyena. I pounced on those. I bit them in half, brother. Not a couple bucks anymore. Now it's up to like $10. So listen, from a cynical point of view, why would Wizards unban these things? Well, I believe it's in their best interest to unban as much as possible. Commander's this wide open format. And now that you have a clear bracket system, you don't have this like kind of nebulous power level system that they had before. You have a very clear system that they can add cards to, they can take cards off, they can add game changers, they can unban stuff. Now that they're in charge, I think it behooves them to have a very small ban list. Cards that are just like literally unplayable, So why are they doing this right now? Number one, it shakes things up, gets a little buzz going, gets people tooling up their decks like me. I went in and found my Gifts Ungiven and my Braids and my friggin' Coalition Victory, man. But then you have this reprint equity, that's injecting a little reprint equity into the system. When they next reprint these cards, they can count on a little bit. People are going to get all hyped up, Those are 2 words you're going to hear a lot if you spend a lot of time in this hobby. Reprint equity, not reprint, dude. That's not even a word, brother. Now, mark my words on this. Jeweled Lotus is going to be next. They're going to unban that thing along with Dockside. Next year is the next unbanning. Let's see if I'm right. You guys got to tune in for an entire year and watch every single video, because that's better, Commander Brother. Nikki G, signing off.